Episode 15. I felt a mix of relief and guilt as I heard the notification on my phone showing that the money had been transferred. "Thank you, Mom," I said, trying to sound grateful. But I knew I wasn't off the hook that easily. A few minutes later, I heard a knock on my door. I stood up to open it, and to my dismay, it was Elvis and Greg. "Elvis, can you please stay away from me?" I pleaded. "Give me your account number, and I'll transfer the money. Just leave me alone." "Leave you alone?" Greg interrupted, chuckling. "We've come to stay." "Elvis, don't think my parents don't know about our situation," I warned. "Oh, I know they do," Elvis replied, a sly smile spreading across her face. "And I want to tell the world about it if you don't play wisely. Think about your dad's reputation." Elvis laughed menacingly and pulled out a video from her bag. I watched in horror as the footage of my brother and me sharing a kiss played out. "Please, Elvis, what do you want?" I begged. "I'll do it for you." 500 naira, Elvis demanded, her eyes glinting with greed. 500,000, or this video will start trending on social media, and everyone will know that Chief Nwakwo's daughter is in a romantic relationship with her brother. Greg chimed in, his voice firm. "Think about it." The two of them pushed me aside and entered my house. I followed them, desperate to reason with them. "Please listen to me," I pleaded. "I'll do the transfer of 70,000 naira. Elvis pulled out a piece of paper from her bag, with her bank account number already written on it. It was clear she had planned this all along. I took the paper, feeling defeated, and did the transfer. "I'm giving you 2 weeks to come up with the remaining 430,000 naira, Elvis sneered, her voice dripping with malice. "If I don't see the money in my account by then, I'll make sure this video goes viral. Your father's reputation will be ruined, and your family will be the laughing stock of the entire community." Elvis's eyes seemed to gleam with sadistic pleasure as she paused, letting her words sink in. Her voice dropped to a menacing whisper. "You have 30 days to save yourself and your family from this scandal. After that, it's too late. The clock is ticking as in." With that, Elvis turned on her heel and strode out of my house, Greg following closely behind. The doors slammed shut behind them, leaving me feeling shaken and trapped. 1 week had passed since Elvis's threat, and my brother Ikemefuna still hadn't returned from school. Every time I tried to reach him, his phone was switched off. I desperately needed his support, but he was nowhere to be found. This was the worst possible time for him to be absent. I was already struggling to cope with the stress of Elvis's blackmail, and now I had another worry to contend with: my missing menstrual cycle. I felt a wave of panic wash over me as I thought about the unthinkable. "Oh God, please guide me. Let it not be true," I whispered, my voice shaking with fear. "It's just a delayed cycle, that's all. I cannot be pregnant." But the doubt lingered, refusing to be shaken. Tears began to drip from my eyes as I thought about the impossible task ahead of me, finding 430,000 naira to pay off Elvis. "God, if you can just take away this burden, I promise to be faithful forever," I cried out, my body shaking with sobs. I returned back home because I couldn't take the threats anymore. I arrived home and saw Ikemefuna. He was sitting at our compound. As he saw me, he stood up to welcome me but noticed my facial expression. "What's wrong, Izin?" Ikemefuna asked, his voice laced with concern. "Ikemefuna, I'm in trouble," I said, my voice barely above a whisper. He sat down beside me, his eyes locked on mine. "What kind of trouble?" To be continued. Stay tuned for more stories episodes.